and the other ones got displaced.
Where? Bro,
Wow.
what? Where?
Wow, dude.
Over
Holy
there?
shit.
Nice.
80 meters away is insanity.
Holy shit, I just
And more.
spawned. This is what happened yesterday when I was playing with a friend. We were doing duo Helldive 9 and this rocket devastator hit me from exactly 80 meters away, as you may have seen. So I kinda just want to talk about it today and share my thoughts about the state of rocket devastators, since I generally don't think that they are in a good space just yet. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. I have a couple of solutions for this issue that I do want to share with both you guys and the developers. I'm not mad. I think that the Rocket Devastators are a very good enemy, but they do need a couple of changes in order for them to not be as BS as they are right now. The Rocket Devastators are enemies which are variants of the Heavy Devastators, the ones with the shields. The Rocket Devastator variants being the enemies with shoulder rocket pods that can basically snipe you from the entire map. And I think that they need some sort of change, because the thing that the Rocket Devastators can do that sets them apart from basically every other enemy is the fact that they can hit you from literally across the entire map, regardless of the vision that they have of you. As you saw in that first clip, I got hit from a rocket devastator from 80 meters away with smoke covering between me and him. Now this is something that I don't think any other enemy would do. Mortar spewers would not do that, snipers would not do that, MG raiders, rocket raiders, nobody would really do that aside from like artillery turrets. But then again, they don't use proper line of sight, they use sensors. And I think that Rocket Devastators should not be able to do this. Mainly because the fact that they already have one of the most devastating attacks in the entire game. They have the ability to snipe you with super fast rockets that do insane amounts of damage. And for them to be able to snipe you like this is f***ing ridiculous. One solution I would do in order for them to be nerfed is give them less range. Give them a stricter line of sight. They need to be completely in front of you, visibly, within 50 meters or something like that at most, in order for them to shoot you. Another thing I would like for them to do is give them a more of a clearer indicator of when they're going to shoot. Because as it stands right now, them going into a stance is nowhere near enough, personally, especially if you're fighting them from a long distance. Then it's going to be way harder for you to spot them. What I would like for them to do is give them some sort of visual indicator aside from the stance, like the rocket pod starting to glow red before they shoot. Them half invisible missiles that fly at Mach 3 is nowhere near visible enough at times, especially on darker maps like Malevolent Creek and nighttime maps, where it's way harder to spot anything. Another thing that I would like to see is for the Rocket Devastators to be actually affected by weather, because the amount of times I've been hit by a Rocket Devastator, regardless of the weather modifier, regardless of what's in front of them, is ridiculous. I know that automatons are affected by weather, making them shoot randomly and sporadically, but the fact that the Rocket Devastators can be so accurate as well. Now, I don't want these enemies to be completely nerfed. I think that they're very fun to fight. They are very engaging and they force you to think. But I feel like they do need some sort of change in order for them to be in line with the other enemies. Because as it stands right now, every enemy tier should be at least 3 to 5 times stronger than the first tier. So for example, an MG Raider is 3 to 5 times weaker than a Scout Walker, and a Scout Walker is 3 to 5 times weaker than a Devastator, and so on and so forth. But as it stands right now, I am more scared of one Rocket Devastator, than I am against 3 Hulks, because I know for a fact I can kill those Hulks in less than like 2 hits without any problems at all. But if you leave a Rocket Devastator unattended, then you're just going to have a bad time. If I were to clip every time I've been bullshitted by a Rocket Devastators, I would probably fill up my 2 terabyte hard drive within 1 play session. Now, this doesn't mean that the enemies are bad, broken, in need of a nerf. No, they're fair. because they do lots of damage, but they leave themselves well exposed when standing completely still. But there needs to be some sort of line between when they can shoot, where they can shoot, and how they can shoot, because currently they both one-shot. They're very hard to predict. They have ridiculous amounts of range, more than an artillery tower at times, and they can perfectly pre-fire you even though you're running past a smoke or a wall. And sometimes they can even shoot you through a wall. So in conclusion, do I want these Decepticons brought from Wish to be nerfed? No, not really. I actually want them to stay similarly in terms of power, but I do want them to get those small changes that I recommended earlier. And I do really enjoy fighting the automatons, aside from the rocket devastators. I think the devs did a very good job in making the automatons from the cyborgs back in Helldivers 1. And I'm very happy that they went with the direction that they did with the automatons. But as a player, these rocket devastators are a bit too much to handle, especially in higher difficulties like Helldive 9, when you're playing with 2 players, 1 players, or not a full lobby. So I do hope that they change them up somewhat slightly, in order for them to fall in line more with the power thing I talked about earlier. But that's just me. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, as this will help me reach the goal for this year. And let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think is your worst, most hated enemy to fight and why? But without further ado, hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you next time. Peace.